on, intro. It's intro time. Shush. Everyone shut up. All right, it's time to jump into our first story. So coming at us from That Park Place, Hollywood is collapsing. Film and television productions drop dramatically in California as studios leave the Golden State. Honestly, before getting into the article, I don't think this would surprise anybody.
No, not really.
Let's see how far we can carry this without looking at the statistics. We've got the numbers. The article continues on. We'll get into the numbers for sure. But, you know, I would have expected that another industry powerhouse, right? Like Bollywood or like the German theater of like film. I was expecting one of those other major like locations for industry was going to kind of pull a lot of the like the industry out of LA and bring it overseas. But no, it's just all of that stuff is getting automated. It's getting simpler to do. It's the kind of thing, if you have a decent microphone, you could do in your basement. For score and stuff, I think a lot of movies do not really put a tremendous amount of emphasis on like the traditional like score.
Well, that's where like AI comes in again too, where like you can AI pretty much anything.
Exactly. All these studios do not need these high production locations that cost $1 trillion, have all these practical like problems that come along with them, and they don't need to bring all these people in. Do you remember the writer's strike the other year? That we reported on. That took for a loop. That was crazy. That they thought they could get so much more out of the industry.
When the industry is dying, they're like, all right, well, let's go on strike. It's like, you guys picked the dumbest moments to do this.
Yeah. I mean, you know who was smart about how they fought Hollywood was Scarlett Johansson with Black Widow project. Black Widow was probably going to be one of the biggest breakout movies of her career. It was going to be like the thing that set her apart from the Avengers as like an ensemble. So she would have her own breakout movie. She was always a supporting role. So
yeah, but it was only going to be the one movie. She's dead.
No, I know. But it was her opportunity to make the like tens of millions of dollars at the box office, because because
it was supposed to release in theaters and they released it on Disney Plus at the same time
and killed her revenue from it. Yeah. She was 100% on point. Everyone was on her side for the most part. Disney was just being cheap. They knew Disney knew what they were fucking doing, trying to take that extra money out of the actors' pockets.
Because everything revolves around people's streaming services now.
Well, and you're not going to get me to hard defend actors. I mean, yeah. I think that it's an industry that if you made a salary of like $200K, I think, or $100K, I think you'd be really well off. But the fact that these people are making tens of like millions or tens of millions of dollars, depending on the actor and the contract, I guess it is really make or break. I mean, you have the waitress who's bussing tables, and then you have Scarlett Johansson. They're not really the same thing.
Really hard up for that cash, you know.
You really hard up for that cash. Man, Weinstein had it right.
I'm sure.
No, I'm kidding.
There was a meme going around where it showed faces of actresses that like are coming up that aren't that attractive, and then someone's like, well, maybe Weinstein wasn't that wrong.
Yeah, you got to keep out the uggos.
Yeah, but when it comes to Hollywood collapsing, it's been collapsing for a while. No one really films there anymore. Like all the Marvel movies get filmed in Atlanta, or England. Everyone basically goes over to the UK to film because there's a big like tax break and shit.
There's a tax break. The scenery is better.
Yeah. The only thing that the UK does though is like you can't really fib on your taxes, and it gets shown to everyone,
which is nice.
That's how we know how much money
Marvel makes and loses.
Budgets actually are instead of the reported.
Well, and I think that's the entire EU. I'm pretty sure that like tax transparency thing is like an EU directive. Like it's the entirety of Europe, as I understand it. I am not well versed on the
UK tax law.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't study that.
You came to the wrong channel. But
I bet it sucks though.
You're 100% correct. But this has been where my main argument for AI in entertainment for a long time, because I've been kind of advocating for it. I'm chilling on that a bit more recently, but my main point and the reason why I think it's a good thing to have is because there are independent creators who will, utilizing these tools, have a shot.
You still have to be like you still have to know what you're doing and be like artistically inclined in order to use AI. You can't just like prompt it with some random thing and it's going to come out perfect.
Right. And
like Shad from Shadiversity has been explaining this for years now, towards like he's an artist himself, but he likes to use the AI and fuck around with it. You still have to be talented.
Yeah. Honestly, so AI, it's almost impossible for AI to keep a record of anything it creates itself because it floods so many images out and they're so high density for like I'm talking about like data storage specifically. So the reason that AI, because we explored it with the with some of the projects that we were looking at for like between Matt Morgan and I with the comic book and stuff, we were just like, what can AI do? Like, what can we try to use it for? It cannot recreate the same character over and over again. It doesn't have a reference. Once it creates a character, it doesn't save that image and uses it as a permanent reference because it has no storage for that photo to be uploaded. If you ever talk about someone, they say, my hard drive is full on my computers. The question is, how many family photos did you keep on your computer? Right? That's the trope. Photos take up a tremendous amount of data storage. So you do not want, so they can't do it. Now, if they ever get to a point where they can mass, like another breakthrough in technology with storage, maybe, but AI, that will probably be a main limitation of art in AI for a long time.
Yeah, that's a lot of storage.
It's a ton, man. Because think about like how many images Shad himself probably playtesting.
And well, like with the Hollywood collapsing and whatnot, you also have the fires that broke out, destroyed a bunch of shit in LA.
That's true.
They've been leaving because it's expensive as shit to film in California. So yeah, there's plenty of reasons of why they just be like, yeah, let's just not do this in Hollywood anymore.
Well, and even before the fire and even before that, there was the argument with Georgia, right? Like Georgia was a film destination, right? They would go on site.
Yeah.
Yep. And then there was that huge boycott because when Roe v. Wade got overturned, all these Hollywood actors wanted to boycott and they wanted to stop filming in Georgia. So, I mean, they did go back to, I mean, they took their pill. I mean, it didn't work that well and kind of showed them the error of their ways. But now let's look at some of the numbers. So going into the article, let's start from the top. For all the glitz premieres, start here. For all the glitz premieres, red carpets that still dot Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles, the beating heart of the American entertainment industry is bleeding out in silence. Beneath the facade of celebrity and prestige lies a production crisis that, if unchecked, could render Tinseltown a relic of its past. Okay. I want to ask a question about like what that means for everything in the country. The United States, one of its major exports has been culture. Like we have always exported our culture, whether it was
we're number one.
Well, yeah, it was American exceptionalism. It was the values of freedom and what we believe makes our Constitution great, etc. Then there's the Wild West with Westerns and automation and technology, free enterprise. Like we have exported our culture tremendously. Hollywood has been one of the primary utilities that we have exercised in order to do that.
Well, in the past few years, I'd say we've been importing a lot of culture and entertainment from like Japan and manga, anime. You got Korea and what they're doing with their movies and shows. Like you had Parasite that won Best Film in 2019. Squid Game's huge. There's a bunch of shit on Netflix that's like Korean and Japanese shows that people love to watch more than anything coming out of Hollywood because Hollywood's been creating shit.
Right.
And then like, yeah, you got, what was another one that was big that's coming out?
Well, let's say Godzilla is another, like Godzilla -1 blew away all the American-made films.
Sorry, you were mentioning Bollywood. That is also making a surge in the U.S. Like the film RRR.
Yeah.
I dropped a few years ago. Made gangbusters and everyone was watching it and shit. I mean, granted, it's like a 4-fucking-hour movie, so it's hard to get into.
Yeah.
But like the ridiculousness of Bollywood and the shit that they do, like action-wise, it's entertaining enough to where it's like, yeah, let's just watch that.
Well, and the American culture, I think now, like the modern American culture, I think is kind of, a lot of Western countries they look at the American West versus the European West, and they see just something so akin to their lifestyle as far as their day-to-day that it doesn't really feel like there's anything to like learn or gravitate towards. So that's just my like insertion, I guess. That's just like a presumption I'm making. But
well, I mean, when you got the West that don't make entertainment that the West shares values with, when instead you got China and Japan and Korea making entertainment that has Western values in it. So it's like, well, fuck.
You almost wonder if we're even the good guys anymore. It's like
it's that skit from back in the day. It's like, are we the baddies?
Like when Canada is just communist and China's like, here's some good video games and some stories about freedom and stuff. And I'm just like, shit, are we? Shit. You almost start to second guess yourself a little bit. But at the end of the day, the question is there a national value, a utility for the U.S. to still have a Hollywood? Or do you believe that, or in your opinion, can independent creators fill the gap that Hollywood leaves when it eventually fizzles out?
I think indies are coming up in almost every industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like in gaming, indie is dominating right now. Like you got
AAA is almost a warning label.
Repo that came out. That's in the top 5 games. Schedule 1 that just came out. It's top 5 games. There's like this Blue Room or some shit fucking game that came out that a lot of people are playing. It's a bunch of indie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Indie movies have been way better.
Yeah. And I've
been watching short films on freaking YouTube.
Yeah,
instead.
That's a really good point. YouTube is a really good avenue for independent creators to export their ideas and their creative projects. Now, it's not friendly in the terms of like copyright, and YouTube will get their pound of flesh. But if you want the project to exist, YouTube is one of the simplest and cleanest avenues for exportation of it. The idea, I guess, is that we hope competitors like Rumble, like X, like other platforms become places where you can do that too and have some competition there. But X pays the creators. I mean, you said X pays its creators out huge. Like even just for interactions, not even necessarily just like monetization on minutes, but actual interactions around your content generate big dollars for creators. I think when that policy got launched by X, Tim Pool showed his numbers. I think he was making like $6,000 a month off of like certain posts.
Yeah, just like interactions and impressions.
It's an old story. It's like 2-3 years ago when that policy was put in, but I'm pretty sure that was right. And I think Tim Pool said he had heard from another major creator who is much more involved in X, who was something like 22,000, or maybe I just saw a post with that number. But the numbers on there can get really large for big creators.
Right.
Obviously, you have to work hard to get there. I mean,
yeah, with like indie creators on YouTube. Like if you want some like really mind-bending like horror movies or whatever, there's a shitload of short films on YouTube that are like excellent done, excellent CGI and all that. They actually cared about it. Like,
you remember the Normal World skit with the monster?
Oh, which one was that?
We actually pulled this up on the channel like in the first year of the channel. So Normal World, you know them, you love
them all the time.
Yeah. For the audience at home, Normal World is a YouTube channel. They do politics, but they're kind of like an SNL meets like kind of conservative
they
values.
Do a skit every now and again that they show at the beginning of the show. And it's like it's kind of politics, but it's more like just joking around.
Yeah, it's more like
it's very laid back.
It is. So the skit I'm referring to was there was a woman who was in her house. She was on the phone with her mom, and she just bought a new house, and so she's on the phone with her mom, snaps a photo of the living room, and sees a monster like standing in the living room.
Right,
but
I do.
You don't see it unless it's taken a photo of. It was pretty cool. It was pretty well done, and then you see the monster like she keeps snapping more photos, and the monster is getting closer. All of a sudden, it chases her out. It's a hilarious skit. Search Normal World on YouTube. Find the demon exorcism skit. I'm sorry I'm butchering the name, but it's good. It's worth the find. But also just check out the channel. It's probably a good one.
Yeah, there's a bunch of independent creators. Like the Star Wars Theory has been doing Darth Vader short films. And I think he just put out a video where he's talking about they offered him millions of dollars to do another Vader project.
Yeah.
So, all right, so
he met with Aaron McGregor. Ewan McGregor.
You're gonna make me say it wrong.
Ewan McGregor. Sorry.
Ewan McGregor.
Yes, and damn it,
Hayden.
Thank you. Oh my God, Hayden Christensen. Yeah, I wanted to say Chris Haydenson, and then I was like Chris Hansen, and I was like, getting it fucked up. Hayden Christensen. Yeah, he posted something where he was a convention or something, and the three of them were talking. So that was kind of cool to see.
Another channel I like is That's a Bad Idea. They do They do a lot of funny skits and whatnot, but then they put out like 40-minute horror films.
Yeah.
So
I would be curious, because Star Wars Theory was not on the shit on Disney Star Wars bandwagon for a long time. It took Acolyte to like really turn his wind.
Like, I'm done with it.
Yeah, I mean, but he was probably one of the more generous people who was talking about Star Wars this last decade.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just not chill. Like, he would put up like his actual opinions, and like love for Star Wars goes so deep that you get blinded to a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And then Acolyte finally broke the glasses.
Which is weird. I don't know if there's a single I don't know if I have that for anything anymore. Like, all of the things I love have been destroyed and ruined, and I'm just alone in the dark. No.
I'm trying to think too. I did for Dragon Age.
Right, Dragon Age Veilguard.
When it first came out, I was like, yeah, it's good. And then the writing just finally got to me, and I was like, all right.
Yeah.
It's over.
But I don't think I've defended anything that hard. If anything, I've probably been more critical because I have had, Halo was the love of my freaking video game like journey. Like, it was everything to me. For Halo was the gold standard for multiplayer, was the gold standard for community engagement, for storytelling, and then it got destroyed in the early days of the channel. And I'm pretty confident that that was the moment I realized that there is nothing that's off limits to them. If they can destroy Halo so egregiously, there's nothing that's off limits. Rings of Power was such an affront that it's another one that you just wake up when you see like the people who are comfortable with Rings of Power, right, are the people who have no idea, like they've never read Tolkien, like any of Tolkien's original works. They haven't read the book, even The Hobbit. If you don't want to read the entire trilogy of Lord of the Rings, just read The Hobbit. If you haven't read anything of his, you might pass. You might give it a pass.
That's a show where I don't think you need to know anything about Tolkien and still know that show is dog shit.
Well, you and I both have met normies or no normies who have enjoyed it or said positive things about it or even recommended it to us, right? So Rings of Power, it's
season 3 is going to be coming out.
Oh, maybe you know what? I might have to get caught up.
Should we kind of cover it like here and there?
I think we should,
like an episode by episode, but
no. But I think you're right. I think we should talk. I think we should talk about it.
I gotta watch season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This might be its own fun journey for us, though. I mean, I'd have to get caught up again. You'd have to get caught up. I mean, might be fun to just get it, like, just get up to speed on it.
I don't like this.
So let's keep going with the story. So the first quarter of 2025 brought brutal 22% drop in film or in on-location filming compared to last year, according to a report released by Film LA. So huge drop in numbers. We got another 22% drop in Hollywood production. So losing 22% is of anything. Well, like if you lost 22% of your blood, you'd be dead just instantly.
If I lost 22% of my income, I'd be homeless.
I'm not a doctor, so don't test the 22% thing. It's probably really bad for you. I don't know if you instantly die, but
some dude in his garage is like, well, some guy on YouTube said if I lose 22%, so I mean, calculate it out.
If you lost a quarter of your the hydration of your body and the thing that kind of keeps you moving, I feel like that's a lot. I don't know how much blood you have in your body, but I don't think it's a small amount. Relative to people who have no blood in their body, I think it's significant.
Just full of another fluid.
I was really locking in on that analogy, and I feel like I made a mistake. Mistakes were made, man.
I can't help you with that one.
No, you can't. I get it. All right.
I like that first sentence that, stay right where you. If we don't act, the California film and TV industry will become the next Detroit Auto.
Yeah. That's it, man. But this is the thing. How hard has the recent administration in government been working to bring auto back to the United States, back to Detroit, and make sure like auto plants get back up and running? That's the level of intervention that Hollywood might someday need if it keeps going down this road. And we'll see. And AI being what it is, create everything actually, this is an interesting, not a hard segue, but this is an interesting point on the same topic. It's I've said this before. When it comes to entertainment, whether it's video games or whether it's movie production, everything was supposed to get simpler. All of these modern advancements in technology was supposed to make the entire production faster, better quality, cheaper, simpler. It was supposed to improve everything. These budgets are insurmountably different than what they used to be. And I don't think you can't accredit it to inflation. They've added so much extra shit to it.
Well, I think it's the incompetence of the industry. That's how you get the inflation.
Yep.
The redundant to hiring and shit like that too. It's
what is it? 7 chiefs, 1 Indian. It's like there's too many people in charge, too much middle management who does nothing.
Too many kitchens in the soup.
Yes. Too many people in charge. But yeah, middle management bloat has destroyed so many industries. Like, it was the first thing Elon went after when he was fixing X. He's like,
dude, yeah, if you can cut 80% of your company and it functions just as it did before.
Well, and the evaluation got to the number, right? Like, did you hear it became profitable? Like, X became profitable, and the valuation is now
paying 80% more people.
Well, it was the ad boycott, right? Like the think about where Elon would be if that like industry sabotage was not happening to him. If he had just played ball with the other side, he could be a trillionaire by now.
Yeah, but he would lose,
especially if he got people. Nancy Pelosi's stock advice.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's got an inside.
I'm sure he's fine now. Yeah, I'm sure he's got his own guy.
But yeah, I don't think under this administration that Hollywood's going to get a bailout.
No. If I mean, well,
for the next 8 years.
Okay, 5-term president. No, I don't. Okay, there's actually a precedent for a 3rd term. I
didn't mean to go into that.
I know. Just about to finish the context on it. It's there was a president who was a vice president who there was an assassination, so he got initiated into the presidency, elevated from vice president to president, then served two following terms. So there's it's happened before, and there's like law for it, but I don't know.
Slippery slope. Anyway, we digress.
We'd have to end someone. Assassinations. You're right. Not on politics, but Trump did put out the Hollywood ambassadors, right? Like Voight, Stallone, and Gibson. And I would expect that in the background, there's probably been some expansion to that project. I bet that project's probably grown a bit.
Yeah, I haven't heard shit about it. I just heard that they're in charge of something.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, it's basically, so the role of them, my understanding, is to advocate for in Hollywood for the values that are brought down by the administration, to push these pro-American ideas in Hollywood and in movies. And you know what? I've been conflicted on this because I don't know if we need a correction or an overcorrection to fix the problems in Hollywood when it comes to like the quote unquote the message in films.
Well, that's people have been talking about that, like when Daily Wire came out with their entertainment sites. Like the audience doesn't want, like, say you're right wing, you don't want to be blasted with right wing shit all the time. It's just make normal fucking movies. That was Daily Wire's promise, but it ended up being basically like right wing Hollywood instead. It's like, no, it's just middle of the road, make normal shit. You don't have to put all your fucking messaging in there.
Well, and there's a difference between.
If I agree with it.
Well, and there's a difference between a message in a film and a theme of a film. So, like, Lord of the Rings is, I think, the most famous example I can use. So, Lord of the Rings doesn't have a message in it. It doesn't tell you anything. What you get from the movie is the values of, like, hope, friendship, like being true and steadfast. You learn these things by watching it. No one tells you those things in the movie. But the message in Hollywood is more important than good themes in the film. But I'm not convinced that Hollywood knows how to put a theme into a movie anymore. And that's why I think the movies lack soul, is because there's nothing in them to like be a guiding post for your soul, for like to learn or be emotionally attached to the movie at all.
Well, it's Fantastic Four is going to be about fucking gender roles.
Exactly. So we don't need, and honestly, that new trailer, the Herald of Galactus, the new female Silver Surfer we're going to get, but also Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was talking about how the CGI he pointed out the CGI is so horrible, and I'm just like,
well, you compare 2007 Silver Surfer to this one, we've regressed when it comes to CGI. I don't know how awful. It's happened, but it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse.
And the best example, Transformers, the OG Transformers, the
like
Michael Bay.
09,
Yeah. if you compare the scene where the robot dog drops all the little marbles down into the military base and then they form into that weird raptor looking transformer.
Right.
Dude, watch that scene again. That CGI is so amazing. And then you compare it to now, and even you don't have to work hard. You just compare to the female Silver Surfer. A single humanoid, zero color. All you had to do was have some shine and some depth to the character's design. You should be perfectly good. The trolls from 2003 in Lord of the Rings look, or 2005 Lord of the Rings look so much better than the CGI in modern Marvel projects. The trolls.
You say 2005?
I'm trying to make sure I got my year right, but I'm talking Return of the King specifically. 2003. I wasn't sure which year. I felt like they.
No, it was 01, 02, 03.
They all
year after year.
Yeah, they all kind of came together. I know that they were all canned and finished at the same time.
You got the Pirates coming out at that time. You got Star Wars coming out at that time. So it's all big fucking.
Well, and the movie was done. All three movies were completed at the same time.
Yeah, they all filmed in '99 or something.
Yeah. So I mean, the CGI was done before it was released. I would.
Well, the
maybe polish more.
The problem is meritocracy. There's no meritocracy in Hollywood. You just DEI hire.
Exactly. Yeah, it's ridiculous. We got a few more stats on here, and then we do need to move on to other stories, but I just want to keep hitting this. So the crisis runs far deeper than film sets. Sound stages are echoing with emptiness. Average occupancy rates have dropped to 63%, down from 69%. Scoring stages, once vibrant with orchestras, recording for blockbuster hits are operating at a fraction of their capacity. In 2022, during the peak of peak TV, LA studios booked 127 scoring days. In 2025, we have 11, down over 90%.
Well, I know what to do with those sound stages. You know how they want, housing for the homeless?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just throw them in there. I bet they'll be very usable afterwards.
The government took my studio. We have there's a lot of debate about what the causes of all this decline is. And honestly, it's not so much a debate as the list just is so long that everyone has something to contribute to the list. We have a post on here from it goes on to say the state's response has been reactive, not proactive. Lawmakers are scrambling to expand California's tax credit program, which currently excludes entire categories like half-hour comedies, animated series, short-form content. And it talks about bills. But as sound editor Karen Landers points out, other states like New York and Louisiana already have carve-outs for post-production. California is late to the game. Others have been playing aggressively for years.
Well, I would say one big contributing factor is the cost of everything.
Yeah,
but I don't think studios care. They pull money out of their ass and spend $300 million a movie anyway.
No, the money is infinite for them. Like, even if they make $100 million movie, and we reference like the Batwoman project from Warner Brothers, even if they make $100 million film, and they don't, I mean, they took a tax write-off on it and just never put out the film. They got enough money back on that film that we could safely assume that movie in theaters probably would have made 30 million, 40 million more. I mean, it's a Batwoman project.
Keaton was in it. So, I mean, $100 million cost, zero marketing cost to compare, because we basically have one screen test to reference back to from the original article. So there's no additional costs affiliated with that film. They took a tax write-off versus trying to make money on it. Right. And you'd say, like, maybe they didn't want to put it out because it damaged the DC brand. It's like, well, that's kind of come and gone. The damage to DC is already done.
Yeah. I could make that argument for every DC project.
Right.
I could make that argument for everything that Warner Brothers has put out about Disney.
Like, the only banger, the only one that made over $1 billion was Aquaman. Did you see Aquaman 2?
No,
I didn't either.
I hated Aquaman 1.
I thought it was dumb fun.
I thought it was.
The worst part is Pitbull singing Africa or whatever.
All right. I thought it was aggressively normal. I thought it was aggressively mid. Like, you might have had me, but I got hard flipped when I saw the octopus playing the drums during the battle. That was my out. I was like, this is it. This is your Sharknado moment.
It was like a space movie in the fucking ocean.
Right.
To me.
It was silly.
It was colorful.
People
take acid when you watch it.
People can people can have fun. People can have fun. People can enjoy their movies. We talked about that with like Minecraft last week. So Hollywood is collapsing. Film and television productions drop dramatically in California as studios leave Golden State. That's an article from That Park Place. We are gonna leave that story and move on to future ones. Did you have anything to add?
You mentioned Minecraft. Did you see that kid that brought the live chicken?
Yes, I did.
The whole discourse around that went the wrong way that I wanted it to. They started talking about like animal rights and shit and stuff.
Oh God!
Like, can we focus on the kid being fucking retarded and taking a live animal into the theater instead?
I mean, that's health code violations. That's probably like
the kid's like, the chicken was fine. We got it from a farm. We brought it back. Blah blah blah.
You got it from a farm is not a good answer to that question. You didn't get it from you didn't get it from outer space. Like we didn't fucking think you dug it up from underground like a troll.
It's like there's like 2 billion chickens that killed every year because we like chicken and blah blah blah. Like,
yeah,
I don't care.
Do you think we want that number lower? It's like if we gotta pump those numbers up. I want Moss chicken.
I want more chicken.
I want El Diablo. He's the chicken devil or whatever.
You see that billboard or whatever that had a bunch of different animals? It's like, where do you draw the line? And then someone spray painted like right before the horse or something. I was like, I'd spray paint after the horse.
I would eat a horse.
I'd eat a horse. I've had horse.
It's good. It's good eats. They you remember the movie is it Defiant? It's the World War II Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Defiance.
Yeah, Defiance. When he shoots his beautiful white horse and then they eat him for stew.
It's good eat.
It's a good eats.
You're starving. Eat a horse.
Yeah. It's like your catch-all. It's like, where am I gonna? I'll probably, if I walked in 1,000 miles in any one direction, I'm seeing 1 billion cows before I see a single fucking horse.
Yeah.
It's just saying. I don't know where. I
mean, you've probably eaten dog and cat without even realizing it. How many Chinese places have anyone gone to?
I have no idea.
I know you've had pigeon.
I have not had pigeon.
You've had pigeon. If you had Chinese, you've had pigeon.
I've not. I don't think we've. I mean, we're in rural Midwest America. We have not had authentic Chinese food.
Like, we've had Mexican Chinese food.
I don't even know if I've seen like. I don't even know if there are pigeons where we are. Like, aren't they just like some barn bird?
There was a Chinese place that got shut down for house pigeons.
I thought it was rats.
No.
Oh, gross. Gross.
I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits. Don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds. People can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.